So a few months ago, we were going to pick out our wedding cake at Carlock's, and
it was closed.
So we were just heading back home.
So we always drive by here. I've always known that his grandmother's buried here. So when Carlock's was closed, rather than have just a wasted trip, it's like, let's go to the cemetery.
Yeah, so we decided just to stop here and look for my grandma's
headstone.
grave and headstone, and we spent better part of an hour looking for it.
Yeah, because we walked all over.
And I thought I generally knew where the area was that Grandma was buried, and could not find it anywhere. Then the guy that manages the Los Osos Cemetery came out and said, hey, the guy introduces himself. He ends up being Matthew. Gave him her name, and I thought that she was buried under this cherry tree. Called my parents and asked them.
So yeah, he walks, and he's having to like walk out headstone areas to match the steps for it's a thing, you guys. So he finally goes to where she should be, and it is grass. Like, there is nothing. So we're digging, and Matthew's like, I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah, so we start digging and looking where we think it is, where he thinks it is. This should be the area.
Through grass.
And sure enough,
we find her.
Here's
She's
the headstone.
there.
Yeah. So he's in full slacks and attire and gets down on his hands and knees and helps us dig and look for, and clear away this headstone.
It's so interesting because I'm someone who believes there are no accidents. I think everything happens for a reason. I think everything's ordained and planned out long before we ever do anything. Now looking back, I'm like, that was so God, because after that, Matthew was talking with us maybe a few minutes, and he stands up. We come to talk about, we're all believers and Christians, and so one thing led to another, and he's like, can I pray with you guys? We tell him we're a blended family, that we're getting married, and he talks about his marriage a little bit, and he just wants to pray with us, and we're like, that's amazing, sure. And he starts referencing very personal things in my life and Eric's life as individuals.
It wasn't a simple prayer. It was
odd. He starts referencing things that we hadn't discussed. He just, in his prayer, was one of those moments that I've always heard about in situations like this, but I've never experienced like prophetic things. Like, that was God speaking through him. And for me, totally solidified that us blending our family and getting married was ordained by God, because it was, he just prayed a blessing on us that just felt just from God. I don't know how else I know that sounds weird, but unless you've experienced what I'm talking about, it's gonna sound
surreal.
weird.
It was the whole experience.
If you've experienced this, you'll understand what I'm talking about right now. Yeah. So we decided that Los Osos, we were going to buy plots and be buried here together forever as our wedding gift. So we have a surprise for our parents. So everyone find them. Everyone look around. Parents,
raise your hands.
Raise your hands. Everyone stare at them as we say this.
Not only did we get ourselves wedding plots.
Because we're not selfish people.
Burial plots, not wedding plots. This is our wedding plots. Wedding gift, wedding plots.
Just got weird, you guys.
Yeah, this just got weird.
So, normal.
Moms, dads, congratulations.
Happy wedding day.
Happy wedding day.
Burial day.
We bought you guys wedding plots too.
I hope you enjoy them.
Yeah.
Hope you're comfortable there.
I think the point of this is to...
There's a point.
There's a point. There's always a point. The tip of this...
Just the tip.
Just the tip of this.
As my mom likes.
Now I gotta edit that, because now you're putting so much pressure on her. I thought only I put pressure on her. Anyways.
So the point
of this, I think, is to prepare for our future, not only for us and our parents, but for our children, and teach them not to fear death, right? That death can be a good thing. Well, it's not a good thing. Well, you know what I mean. Death's a natural thing.
Kids, death is good.
Death is good. I'm good.
Yeah,
drugs are bad, but death is good.
The kids were kind of weirded out about us buying our plots. Annabelle really didn't want to come out here and see it. My mom was really freaking out, like, I don't want an invitation. She didn't want to picture me like that. And I understand all that, but I think that the lesson here is that we're not really afraid of death. You know, we're believers. We believe in heaven and redemption, and we believe in being saved and God and all that. So death is just a transition period, or not a period, but like death is just a transition to something better. That's our belief. So it's not a scary thing, and I don't want our kids to feel like it's a scary thing. So, you know, we are going to come out here and probably plant a tree, have our own bench. We're gonna have the best looking plots you ever did see.
Right.
And I think it's a great place. I want them to not be sad. I want them to be happy.
The point of buying the plots ahead of time is so when that period comes, us still left on Earth, you don't want financial burdens, planning burdens, all this stuff's taken care of.
So the financial burden off of our kids, and just to have a plan, which makes me feel secure. It's how I feel loved, is I have a plan. That's kind of why we did this, and just as a symbol of commitment to each other. You know, we are in it forever. You know, we are going to be buried next to each other someday. So I think it's just all very poetic and symbolic, and I love that.
Yeah. No, I agree. Couldn't say it better. Yeah.
That's right.